Lots of people are saying that this is the new hot summer classic of 2025.
He flew young girls to clear his mind. A peaceful man, so warm, so kind. Forget the logs, ignore the jet. The cameras failed, no real threat.
Nothing to see here is, of course, what Epstein saga? Look, we're gonna have real sugar and Coca-Cola and the threats and memes of Obama's being arrested. All of this, as right now, podcasters, content creators, and memers are all uniting to say no peace for the wicked predators out there that have hurt small children previously beforehand, as Joe Rogan has declared his red line when it comes to the Trump administration, as Bibi Netanyahu's son is trying to go all in and attack him, as more and more crazy, bewildering stories are coming out regarding this Epstein saga that allegedly is bringing Trump into panic mode. Is that actually what's going on here? Well, Trump had something else to say about it, as of course the long list of things that are going on here will not be forgotten by those individuals like Joe Rogan that are speaking out more than ever. What will be the result of this? How will this kind of crescendo, as all the podcast bros are saying in unison, hey, this story is not going away, which signals some larger problems for Trump and his administration the longer there are no actual real disclosures here. That so far, there's nothing else planned. There's no deadline. There's nothing else ahead of us, which is going to mean trouble. I'll tell you what kind of trouble. I'll tell you how this will look like, especially in the social, cultural aspect of all of this in this YouTube video. And if you appreciate these type of frank, honest discussions, subscribe. Click the notification button. We always appreciate all the time that you are able to, of course, spend with us. This, as Joe Rogan recently declared on his podcast episode, that the, quote, Trump administration is gaslighting the American people. And it sure does feel like it, as, of course, we're still here waiting, twiddling our thumbs, being told to celebrate non-existent victories that haven't happened, that probably won't happen, as we're told, trust the plan, based off no receipts or evidence or actual real accountability or transparency at all here. And, of course, this feeling of uneasiness is only going to spread through the podcast circles like Joe Rogan, who said this recently on his show.
That's just going to hang around.
This is a line in the sand.
Yeah.
This one's a line in the sand.
Yeah.
Because this is one where there's a lot of stuff about, you know, when we thought Trump was going to come in and a lot of things are going to be resolved.
Yeah.
We're going to drain the swamp. We're going to figure everything out. And when you have...
Yep. Listen, now whether you agree with him or not, whether this is your line in the sand or not here, it's important to understand here that Joe Rogan is speaking to tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of people. And these clips and these videos go viral. And a lot of people resonate with what he has to say here. As, of course, it was the podcast circle that helped Donald Trump win the presidential election overwhelmingly against the corporate media and all of their P. Diddy guest lists and celebrities from all of Hollywood. It was essentially these same people that are now criticizing Donald Trump that allowed him to become president of the United States. So their words, their actions absolutely matter here. And they are the kind of guard against the establishment. And now, Donald Trump becoming the establishment, it signals and ushers in this kind of new, weird, awkward era where everyone's like, wait, what side are you on? What team you're on? As, of course, we shouldn't be doing that in the first place. We should be saying, hey, this is what we voted for, this is what we expect, and this is what we will not be compromising on. And that's what I like about the right. We're not cultish figures. We're individuals with separate ideas, with actually a coherent type of value system that doesn't waver when it comes to just political power. Now, of course, there's some exemptions, like Cat Turd and others, that, of course, are willing to lick the boots, brown nose as much as they can until they get extreme amounts of pink eye. But the vast majority of people are not like that.
Have this one hardcore line in the sand that everybody been talking about forever, and then they're trying to gaslight you on that.
Well, you would have thought
Is
that
that your
Dan...
phone?
gaslight you. Gaslight, I think, is an important word here, as of course, because of Joe Rogan's unwavering type of understanding of all of this and ability to be able to speak frankly and coherently about this, not just along party lines here. He has faced a lot of criticisms and a lot of canceling efforts. We did a video a couple hours ago, actually, talking about all of the canceling efforts that are going up against Tucker Carlson. But Joe Rogan is another individual that is going up against the grain, as, of course, BB's son, who I believe is in Miami, who a lot of people are saying, why isn't he involved in any of the wars that his father's starting? BB's son is coming out and attacking Joe Rogan as he announced, great wake-up call for conservatives to remember Joe Rogan is not a conservative. He was on the left. He overwhelmingly endorsed and supported Donald Trump. Whether that makes you conservative or not, again, what he's saying here, he's not drinking the Kool-Aid. And good. We're not supposed to be drinking the Kool-Aid and worshiping fire. We're supposed to be questioning it. Now, before getting into this other matter, since Joe Rogan, I think even facetiously, was talking about how Hunter Biden could be the president of the United States, before talking about the other podcast bros and more kind of in-depth analysis and commentary from Joe Rogan here that we're going to break down point by point, we wanted to tell you about wearechange.shop. We have amazing fish oils there. We have them sourced from small fish. I am a Slavic person. The food here in Poland, by the way, because I'm in Poland right now, incredible, great. My HRV through the roof. My sleep recovery through the roof. I'm like, what's going on here? And I'm like, well, it's probably because I'm back in my homeland and I'm eating the food that my body's kind of used to eating. In America, I don't have that. In America, there's a lot of things, especially when it comes to a lot of the fish out there, that aren't the best. As we have essential fatty made from small fish. I think my genetic predisposition thrives off of fish. Some people love fish and just really do well off fish. I just don't want the mercury. I don't want the heavy metals. I don't want all the parasites and stuff. That's why we sourced it from small sardines. We only have 43 of these essential fatties left here. They're really great for your brain and heart health. But more importantly, if you are a smoker, you should quit immediately. But very interesting studies coming out with smokers and fish oils, by the way. Do your own research before putting anything into your body. You have now a decision. Are you going to buy your supplements from big box stores that, of course, get it from China, or are you going to get it from us? Where we're going to provide you things that we put our reputation on the line for. I really like these fish oils. I brought some with me on my trip to Poland, but I don't need any because I'm getting some real fish here. But so, and I usually supplement based on how my diet is going, how my exercise is going. I'm like, okay, I'm traveling, lots of vitamin C. We got vitamin C. As a lot of people are ranting and raving about things like omega-3s, as I just was randomly perusing Twitter, and this is the thing that came up to me right now, and it says the top 15 supplements with benefits in humans. Number 1, creatine. We got creatine available on wearechange.shop. Number 2, omega-3s, and a lot of people thrive off it. A lot of people feel good. My recommendation with any type of supplement, you take it and you document like how you feel, what you're doing, your rest, your recovery, your HRV, and then you kind of analyze, how do I feel? And then you kind of keep a little journal, and then you're like, okay, I tried this out for 2 weeks. I tried this out for a month. This might be correlated. Let's try to correlate as much as you can with your own individual body's needs. That's why I always recommend, hey, get blood tests, do your own studies, and make sure you're making the right decision for yourself on an individual one-on-one basis, and not a part of a cult herd-like mentality like BB's son wants you to be a part of. As he says, he gave platforms to people who, again just hyperbolic nonsense. Like, really? He doesn't want to have my father on the show. I don't think he said it like that, but I think he said it like that, in my own personal opinion. But he refused to say my father on the show. I think that's how you said it. I don't know. I'm not no expert. But I think that's exactly how he said it. As the news came in, Joe Rogan refused to have Bibi Netanyahu on his show. This, as the Epstein story just keeps getting weirder and weirder. In August of 2008, after Epstein began serving his 18-month sentence, his trust, the Zorro Trust, won the Powerball ticket. And he was awarded an $85 million jackpot. Yes, you heard that correctly. Jeffrey Epstein, when everything's rigged, guys. Everything's rigged. In my opinion, the lottery is rigged. All right? It's a poor people tax. All right, if we're playing it, a lot of assets are usually paid out. A lot of people are usually paid out through the lottery system. And listen, you know, we're all told, oh yeah, but it's the perfect way to move huge sums of money around and put it in people's banks. As of course, it looks like he was compensated by whoever's able to rig the gambling lottery system. Who's able to do that? Governments are, as we know. There's a lot of governments that Epstein was connected to. His Zorro Ranch in New Mexico had connections to the governor there, Bill Richardson, who went to the Bohemian Grove, who did other kind of weird stuff. I confronted him on this a lot. And again, you're talking about Zorro Ranch. You're talking about having to helicopter into his private thing. And then there of course, was a computer glitch. Oh, no. Grok fact-checked this and said, yep, yeah, it's true. Wild stuff here that, of course, everyone could be talking about for quite a long time, and we will be, because there's a lot of absurd stuff here. He was working on dolls. He had a eugenics operation. He wanted to impregnate 30 women at one particular time. He was doing scientific experiments in Harvard. Who knows what kind of scientific experiments he was working on with Billy Boy. He was flying all around the world. He was a major financer, major money mover, moving billions of dollars, and major questions remain. Who else was he connected to? Where else was the money flowing to? And we still do not know. Release all the financial records, and that's something that the Trump administration hasn't done, as we're getting reports that the White House is in full-bore panic mode. And listen, whatever you might believe, a lot of fake news out there, but it is pretty clear here Donald Trump is calling people up. His administration, big donors, were calling people up and telling them to shut up. Stop talking about Epstein here, as Donald Trump, for some reason, believes that this has helped him somehow in the polls. I don't understand that. I think, just like the lottery system, I think a lot of the polls are rigged here. And I think they're just interviewing people, maybe, who still have landlines and are picking up their phones and are not connected to the internet and don't know exactly what's happening in this world. Because how else do you explain Donald Trump explaining this?
Since this ridiculous Epstein stuff.
Ridiculous? What do you mean ridiculous? Okay, I take issue with that, because Donald Trump promised to release the stuff. He talked about it during multiple elections, right? And then, after promising us this, after his administration was like, it's coming, it's big, it's huge, wow, it's shocking, then he came out and said, yeah, you guys are the problem for believing we're going to release it, all right? You're talking about it now, after I was talking about it? You're the problem. You're the weakling. And people are like, wait, what? Why were we being gaslit? After we were told, oh, nothing to see here, no files, no extortion, no blackmail. And then we were confirmed that, oh yeah, Trump's name appear in the Epstein files. And again, Trump first denied being in the Epstein files. Then he said, yeah, my name's in it, but it was planted. Okay, who planted it? What was planted? What was really going on here? As there's a lot of things that are inconsistent here with logic and proof here. And again, there's hundreds of thousands of documents. Those hundreds of thousands of documents could be released at any moment in time, but he refuses to do so.
My poll numbers have gone up 4.5 points because people don't buy it. Okay, people don't buy it. And he's gone, and we want to focus on trade deals. I want to focus on the...
He's gone, and let's talk about something else. Sounds like a very similar answer to what Bill Gates did. Right? Bill Gates was asked about this because his wife divorced him, according to her, because he wouldn't stop hanging out with him. He wouldn't stop hanging out with the guy who was procuring small children to very powerful people. Huh. And then Trump's like, Bill Gates was asked about it. He was like, it doesn't matter. He's dead. He's gone. Let's talk about some other stuff. Let's talk about this.
Deal we just made with the European Union, which is...
Yeah, we made a deal. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I think a lot of this matters. It matters for individuals like Joe Rogan. CNN has this article, and CNN is going to run, home with it. This is easy layups for CNN that Donald Trump is just giving them by denying the documents, by not releasing them. And this is their article on CNN Business. Joe Rogan isn't letting go of Epstein. That's a problem for Donald Trump here, as he specifically describes the line in the sand here and how people aren't moving away from this. And this kind of gaslighting, being told, don't worry, guys, the files are coming. Oh, no. What files? Oh, no. You're the problem. Oh, no. It's a hoax. Okay, explain it. Show it to us. As Joe Rogan expanded on his commentary and had this to say.
Epstein stuff is so crazy because when Kash Patel was on here and he was like, there's nothing. And I was like, what are you talking?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what to say. My thought was, and people.
And that was a lie. Listen, Kash Patel lied. Dan Bongino lied. Pam Bondi lied. Now, who did they lie for? Probably the President of the United States, right? Who's giving them the orders. Listen, you're still treating us like we're idiots. You're treating us like in the most disrespectful, dishonest, dishonorable way. You're treating us like we're some kind of like Riri children. Okay. You know, cat turds. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I understand. Oh. Vast majority of people are like, no. You can't pull a fast one on us. We're not stupid. He lied to Joe Rogan's face, right? That's clear as day.
Like, why didn't you push back more? My thought was like, I'm just going to put this out there and let the internet do its work because there's nothing I can. The guy's saying there's no tapes, there's no video. That doesn't make any sense. Everyone knows it doesn't make any sense. And then he didn't know about the Michael Baden stuff, the autopsy stuff, where it showed that he had 3 broken.
Listen, I don't buy that. There's no way. I mean, Kash Patel, extremely intelligent, extremely smart, very capable guy, right? You're not paying attention to some of the most important aspects of this. You're telling me you don't even know about the neck. Like, what? Are you kidding me? The major aspect that everyone is bringing up here, and now you're telling us, believe the government. He absolutely took himself out. There's no blackmail, nothing. No extortion, no client list, nothing. Go home. Case closed, guys. Sayonara. Trump's calling. Shut up about it. Stop talking about it. Bongino raised a little bit of a stink, and then he kept lying. And now he's giving us boomer catnip of like, yeah, guys, trust the plan. I'm like, where's the receipts, buddy? Okay. All right. If you taught us one thing, if you taught your audience one thing, it's that you need to see receipts. I haven't seen those receipts at all. And we haven't seen anything from Donald Trump so far.
Bones in his neck, which never happens when you hang yourself. Even when you like leap from somewhere with a rope around your neck and it snaps your neck, you never have 3
and he's
broken
in a prison
bones.
cell. He's not launching himself off the first floor balcony.
The whole thing was nuts. And then they really...
With paper towels. All right? He had paper towel clothing on. All right? After a first alleged attempt, which was really just him getting beat up, according to his lawyer doesn't believe the official version of events here. Because how can you? How can you? And again, his lawyer came out and said, you know, Trump's DOJ asked Epstein if he had dirt on Trump, and Epstein's former cellmate and his lawyer confirmed, no. Epstein said he didn't have anything on Donald Trump, who was president of the United States at the time.
He's like, well, we have a film. We're going to release that film. And the film has a fucking minute missing from it.
Yeah.
3 minutes, and it was more doctored than we previously thought about. And that was supposed to be the unredacted tape. And they released it without even explaining it to us. Like, oh, yeah, it's some computer glitch because it's old system. What? Okay, whatever. Sure. And then it's like, wait, no, it's 3 minutes. No, it's clips being spliced together. Wait, hold on. What in the world did you give us? And that was their kind of proof. That was their kind of like, poof. Here it is, guys. Here it is. Go home. Get out of here. We gave you a tape. Shut up. Shut up, idiot. No. We're not going to do that. And so isn't the podcast world.
Like, do you think we're babies? Like, what is this?
Also, you got people, including Dan Bongino, right, making bank for a couple of years talking about how awful it is, and we got to get this shit, and this is a huge conspiracy, and then you release a 2-page memo that says, yeah, there's nothing to see here.
Yeah, because you're walking by your bedroom window and you see a little laser,
red
laser moving across your chest.
Yeah, but it's so.
Is that it? Because that's how some people explain it. Some people explain it as people being threatened. People being told to shut up and having their lives endangered. And that could be the truth. Let's just be honest with ourselves here. Or there could be something else going on here. I think there's 2 logical explanations to what's going on here. One, there's threats against these people's children, right? And they're holding something above them that is legitimate. Either or, we have to understand, we need maximum pressure to get this out there, because if it's not released, we have a hijacked government that will continue to not work in the best interest of the American people. And we have already seen what has been happening with Ukraine, what has been happening with Iran, that a lot of the campaign promises, the major ones for the big, huge industries, aren't being kept. We're told drain the swamp, end the wasteful spending. Happened a little bit, and then, no, cut right away. So we need to pull the Band-Aid immediately. And unless we do that, we're going to continue to have a hijacked government. And that's the realization that I think a lot of these podcast bros, people are like, the manosphere and the podcast bros. Shut up. These are the people that actually speak for the people. And that's why they're not willing to let this go, like the corporate media, like Fox News has, when they were told to shut up. And these other podcasters that were told to shut up. Now, again, there's other podcasters that are a part of it, that are speaking about it. I wanted to say more, especially when it comes to Joe Rogan's response to the South Park episode. This whole lottery thing, man. There's also connections now with Maxwell's, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Les Wexner, Robert Maxwell, Donald Trump, that are also coming out here. Kevin Spacey had some interesting things to say. I'm gonna do another video. I'm gonna do a second video about this and all the updates, because there's so much to get into, especially with just the many oddities here throughout this entire saga. If you appreciate this, subscribe. Get yourself some fish oil. Do some of your own homework, your own research into what your body needs. We got some great prices available out there to you. Subscribe, click the notification button. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.